In the middle of the Gulf crisis, triggered by the Iran war, Türkiye is trying to position itself at the center of a technology realignment that could reshape AI infrastructure flows across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. More than 500,000 foreign residents left Gulf states between February 28th and March 31st, while roughly 15,000 companies suspended operations or relocated. At the same time, Iran reportedly designated 11 American technology firms as potential targets, including Microsoft, Google, Apple, Meta, Oracle, and Nvidia. That combination of security fears, disrupted investment plans, and uncertainty around energy continuity is now creating an opening that Ankara believes could redefine Türkiye's role in the global digital economy. The shift matters because artificial intelligence infrastructure depends on stability, energy supply, and long-term planning. Before the regional crisis intensified, Gulf states were trying to build a technology ecosystem worth roughly $500 billion by 2030, under projects linked to the Stargate initiative. The strategy relied on cheap electricity, tax advantages, and data center construction designed to attract hyperscale cloud providers and AI startups. But regional instability interrupted that momentum. International companies operating in Dubai and Doha suddenly faced questions about security exposure, continuity risks, and long-term resilience. Türkiye responded by preparing a package of tax incentives and infrastructure policies aimed directly at those displaced companies and professionals. Firms relocating regional headquarters to the Istanbul Financial Center are set to receive corporate tax exemptions on profits generated from overseas operations for 20 years. Foreign professionals who had not lived in Türkiye during the previous 3 years are also expected to receive income tax exemptions on foreign earnings for the same duration. The objective is not simply to attract relocation. Ankara is trying to lock in long-term investment tied to artificial intelligence, cloud infrastructure, and digital services. The first major signal came from Google Cloud, which signed an agreement for a $3 billion hyperscale data center project in Ankara in partnership with Turkcell. Construction is expected to begin soon, marking the first large hyperscale cloud investment of this scale entering the Turkish market. Meanwhile, Amazon Web Services and Microsoft are reportedly reevaluating regional partnership structures before making final commitments. Turkish officials see this hesitation as an opportunity rather than a setback. If Gulf instability continues, companies looking for an alternative base may increasingly view Türkiye as a safer operational hub positioned between Europe, Central Asia, and the Middle East. Treasury and Finance Minister Mehmet Şimşek has openly linked Türkiye's energy policy to the future of AI infrastructure. He recently explained that one of the motivations behind nuclear energy investments is the enormous electricity demand generated by large-scale data centers. Vice President Cevdet Yılmaz delivered a similar message during the launch of an AI data center project, developed through cooperation between NGN and Cerebrum Tech. Their comments reflect a broader understanding now shaping government policy. Computing power is becoming a geopolitical asset, in the same way oil pipelines, ports, and industrial corridors shaped earlier economic eras. The economics behind this strategy are increasingly difficult for governments to ignore. CoreWeave expanded from almost zero revenue into roughly $5 billion in annual revenue after securing graphics processing unit capacity early in the AI boom. Nebius recorded revenue growth of around $500 million and experienced a stock surge exceeding 500%. Nscale raised approximately $1.3 billion. These companies followed the same formula. Build compute infrastructure first, then attract startups, software ecosystems, and cloud demand afterward. Türkiye is now attempting to replicate part of that model by creating conditions favorable to AI infrastructure investment before regional competitors stabilize. However, there are major constraints. Large data centers consume enormous amounts of electricity and water for cooling systems. Turkish policymakers understand that uncontrolled expansion could strain urban infrastructure if projects concentrate around Istanbul or Ankara alone. As a result, provinces such as Konya, Karaman, Niğde, Aksaray, and Nevşehir are increasingly viewed as more sustainable candidates because of lower cooling requirements and available land capacity. This is where the strategy becomes more than a tax story. It evolves into a long-term industrial planning project involving power grids, water management, transport logistics, and digital infrastructure. Türk Telekom is becoming central to that infrastructure narrative. The company now operates more than 550,000 kilometers of fiber infrastructure, carrying nearly 80% of Türkiye's fiber network. According to the FTTH Council Europe, Türkiye ranked second in Europe behind Germany in annual growth of fiber-to-the-home and fiber-to-building household coverage between September 2024 and September 2025. Turkey also entered Europe's top 5 fastest-growing fiber markets, alongside Belgium, Malta, Germany, and Switzerland. Türk Telekom additionally raised the fiberization rate of LTE mobile base stations to 62%, already exceeding the global benchmark targeted for 2030. At the same time, Türkiye's broader technology ecosystem is beginning to show signs of scale. Mobile gaming company Grand Games raised $103 million across 3 funding rounds within 2 years, while recording 500% growth. Its games surpassed 50 million downloads and briefly climbed into the top 2 positions on the American iOS download charts. Investors, such as Balderton Growth Fund, continued increasing exposure to the company because it demonstrated the ability to repeatedly launch successful titles rather than rely on a single hit. That matters because infrastructure alone does not create a technology hub. Sustainable ecosystems require startups, engineering talent, investors, and scalable digital products operating together. The larger question is whether the Gulf crisis creates only a temporary shift or a lasting redistribution of technological power. If regional instability fades quickly, Gulf states could resume their original plans, backed by larger sovereign wealth resources and cheaper energy. But if security concerns persist, Türkiye could secure an early advantage in attracting AI infrastructure, cloud providers, and skilled foreign professionals seeking operational stability. What viewers should watch next is not only where companies move headquarters, but where they build compute capacity. In the AI economy, the countries controlling energy, fiber networks, and data infrastructure shape future economic influence.